My name is Tessan Steding and I'm a first-year student here at SILS. I'm from Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm 21 years old, and I'm right now studying international relations and psychology here at SILS.
Hello, my name is Hedda Helekalan. I'm 21 years old and I'm from Oslo, Norway. And I'm also a first-year student at SILS. I'm currently studying international relations and politics. I was already studying Japanese in Kobe and I didn't feel like going back to Norway to study, so I started looking at options for studying in Japan, and I found SILS. What I thought was good about SILS was that there are so many different classes, so many different subjects to study, and for me, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to study in the first place, so it was a really good option for me to be able to choose so many different subjects and then decide later what I wanted to major in.
I was an exchange student in Japan in 2010 here in Tokyo, and at the time I got to hear about Waseda as one of the top universities. I knew that I wanted to study there, or at least try. So, but the problem was that I wanted to study engineering, though it didn't turn out that way. I still wanted to go to Waseda, so I found SILS. And I thought it seemed like a really good program because it had a large amount of courses of different genres, and I felt like since I wasn't sure I didn't know what I wanted to study later on or major in, it felt really good to be able to know that I could try out a lot of courses and later decide what I wanted to do. When I was around 12 years old, I got interested in anime and manga. And I started researching about the authors and a lot of things regarding that. And I discovered that I really liked Japan and I got interested in the culture. And that's how I decided that I wanted to go on an exchange year. And when I came back from my exchange year, I felt like Japan became a part of me. And I really wanted to try to go back to see if my love for Japan was kind of true or not, so to speak. So I thought that going on a 4-year undergraduate studies to Japan was a really interesting experience to do, and on top of that we don't have any liberal arts education in Sweden, so even if I wanted to study in Sweden I couldn't really because I didn't know what to study to begin with. So.
Yeah, for me, I guess it started roughly the same way. When I was in my last few years of elementary school, I started reading manga and watching a little bit of anime, and I like to draw, so it was that was kind of my hobby at the time. So I eventually decided to study Japanese in high school instead of French or German and Spanish that we usually do. And then in my second year, I went on exchange to England. And when I came back to Norway, I realized that I wanted to study abroad. I didn't want to stay in Norway for my whole life. And since I had already studied a little bit of Japanese, I thought it might be a good idea to go to Japan and gain new experiences. One of the points that I find really attractive about SILS is that there are so many different courses to choose from, and all foreigners have to take Japanese classes. For some it might seem like a drag that you have to take a lot of language courses and it might be boring, but in the end, knowing the language makes the whole experience of living in Japan so much better, and it's so much easier to make friends. And if you go back to your country afterwards, not knowing Japanese, after living here for 4 years, it might seem like a bit of a waste. Also, when you get better in Japanese, you can move away from the standard English courses that we do in SILS and take open courses in Japanese. And from what I've experienced, that's a really nice thing to do. You learn a lot that you wouldn't have in the English courses in SILS. Another good point about SILS is that everyone has the opportunity to go abroad for 1 year. So you can go abroad from Japan to another country. And it makes the whole experience of studying richer. And Waseda has a lot of partner universities all around the world, so you can literally go to any country you want to go.
What I like about SILS is the teachers, actually, because I was surprised by the immense knowledge the teachers had when I came here. That, for example, my international relations teacher had actually worked in the field for a very long time and had a very high position in relations to that. So I was very surprised, and which made me also more interested in the course as a whole. And other than that, I think that there are also very many foreign teachers in SILS. Not only Japanese, but for example, people who teach languages, they are actually the native speakers of the language many times. And so, yeah, it really helps you when you study. In SILS, you also have the opportunity to become friends with people from all over the world. Right now, I have friends from the US, from Korea, Malaysia, Taiwan, China, lots of places. And it's really enriching for you as a person also, because your stereotypic thinking totally vanishes by time, I assure you. Att åka till Japan kanske verkar som en ganska konstig grej att göra med tanke på hur långt det är och hur stor skillnad det är på kulturen mellan Sverige och Japan. Dock har Japan väldigt fin kultur med både gamla och nya aspekter. Och att åka på en 4 års studieresa som det nästan blir är en otroligt bra upplevelse för dig som person. Det berikar dig och det blir en otroligt bra upplevelse längre fram i livet. Och vem vet, du kanske till och med blir kvar här.
Det høres kanskje skummelt ut å reise helt til andre siden av kloden for å studere, men jeg kan garantere at å komme hit til Japan og studere gir deg mange opplevelser som du aldri ville fått i Norge. Og det er nå i studietiden når du faktisk har mulighet til å reise rundt og utforske på denne måten, så jeg vil absolutt anbefale alle å ta steget og komme hit til Japan.
Vi ses på SILS!